Yes, welcome to Tautoro District Seasons. Yes, that's right, everybody. We're going to be using the Seasons mod for the very first time, and it's going to be on this New Zealand farm, Tautoro District. Now, as you can probably tell by listening to me, I'm a bit croaky, I'm a bit flued up, so this is probably going to be my last video for a few days. I'll take a few days off and try to get over this bug. But in the meantime, it's early spring here in Tautoro District, and the first thing we need to do is get the farm all set up, get all the settings sorted. So let's quickly jump into the Seasons menu, which is left Alt and S. There we go. Now before we take a look at the sowing and harvesting times, let's get in here. Now, Seasons Introduction, that's where it just tells you when a season starts. So, yep, we'll keep that on. We'll keep it Celsius. I know some of my American viewers might not understand Celsius. Just look it up, Google it. It's really easy. And I'm going to make it, the season length is going to be 3 days. That means basically 12 days in-game will constitute an entire year. So, hopefully that will be about the right time to get through. Crop moisture, what that means is if it rains and the crops get wet, you're not going to be able to harvest them until they dry out. So that's cool. We've got snow tracks and snow mode, which definitely works on this map. If it snows, it's going to lay on the ground and make things very interesting indeed. Let's get into the next menu. Some of you may already know how this works, but as you can see up the top here, this is spring, summer, autumn or fall if you're from the States, and winter. The green, if you look at the little legend down below, is when you can plant these certain crops, wheat, barley, canola, sunflower, etc. And the yellow is when you can harvest them. So as you can see, spring is really the time to be planting a ton of your crops. And then sort of late summer, early autumn is sort of when most of the harvesting is taking place. Now these numbers here are very, very important. That's the ground temperature. And essentially, you want the numbers to be in white, which means you can go ahead and plant and they will germinate properly. If you plant them way in the blue, they won't necessarily die, but they may take a ton of time to actually germinate and grow. So we'll be waiting until those go into the white. So spring is here, as I mentioned, and really this is all about preparing all the fields. If we jump into our map for those that haven't seen it, and we have a ton of fields. We own every field here. We've already got some that have been worked up and some that have been planted and harvested. We've got if we look into our silos here, we've got a few different types of crops already sitting in there. But today what we're going to do is just get a few of the basic tasks sorted. One of those is going to be animals. I want to make sure that I can get them up to at least a decent amount of productivity. But their productivity will be affected depending on the seasons, and we'll talk through that as we get through. But I think the first thing we'll do today is look to get our animals nicely fed and watered, because if you don't water and feed them properly, they can die, and that is not good. You start this map with 30 cows and 30 sheep, it's a good number. Now the other thing you need to know is I went and sold a few of my Waitea Valley fields, and if you can see, look at the top right hand corner, I've got $500,000 in the bank. That's just going to help me buy a few vehicles and stuff that I may need. So guys, without further ado, I think what we will do is, I'm going to replace this tractor by the way, just so you know, but in the meantime, what I want to be able to do is, let's go ahead and water the animals. So let's get into we'll use, I forgot, this mod here requires you to have to start the vehicle each time. That's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Well, with this nice and handy, we have got our water trough sitting right here. Let's turn off this menu. We'll get these sheep watered up, and then we'll look to feed them and get them up to at least a certain level of productivity. Okay, back in here, we've got little water triggers all around the place. Come on, give it to me. I'm pretty sure this. Ooh, is that not a water trigger? Let's see. Figure it out. Okay. There we go. We got it. Okay. took a while, but we got there eventually. So we'll fill up our water tanker here, and we'll get these animals protected. That's really what we want to do. Now in Seasons mod, it's a little bit different when you feed the animals. Instead of giving them enough food that will last them 6 days, in Seasons mod you can only feed them up to a maximum of 3 days. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Just means you've got to keep a closer eye. Whoop, opened that the wrong way. Keep a closer eye on your animals. Now I'm going to have to do a bit of a 360 here to line up correctly. Sheep standing all over the place. Okay, this looks like the water. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit of management to make sure we look after our animals, because the last thing we want them doing is dying. That is not a good scene. Okay, we got there in the end. Now I've got a few mods installed. Have we? Oh, hold on. Okay, that's all the water that the sheep needed. That was nice and easy. Far too much water in this tanker. Oh, watch out, sheep. I actually have... Man, I sound terrible. Anyway, I have a number of mods already installed. And one of them is the better fuel usage, and you'll see down the bottom there. Well, you won't see it at the moment because I'm out of the tractor, but when you see down the... Come on, close, close, close. Close, close, close. You have to close over here, do you? There we go. That makes no sense, but let's go with it. You'll see down the right hand corner you've got those green, yellow and red dots indicating how much fuel is being used. So I've got that installed, and I've got a bunch of other little mods installed around the place that you'll see as we go. I'm just going to leave that sitting there. No, I'm not. I've got to do that. Alright, so what else do they need? They need hay or grass. Now luckily we have some hay bales already pre-made over here. One of the first things I will look at doing is I will look at mowing some grass. And oh Mace, what are you doing, dickhead? I will look at mowing some grass and getting some silage underway, and also perhaps some grass bales. The only thing is from what I understand, grass bales, and I'm not too sure whether they are protected under cover. I know hay bales are protected under cover, but grass bales, apparently that if it rains, or even if it doesn't rain, I'm not too sure. I think what happens is they actually deteriorate. So I'm going to have to think about that, but silage will... Oh, that's what you're doing. Silage will definitely be on the menu, that's for sure. There'll be 2 uses for this. Oh, Mace, what are you doing? Come on. Come on, seriously. Come on, seriously. Get your act together. I would blame that on my sickness, but everybody who watches me knows that that's the sort of thing I do all the time. So yeah, I've got to figure out the grass, because the last thing I want to do is spend a whole lot of time... Oh, now I've just realised I closed the bloody gate. Idiot! The last thing I want to do is spend a whole lot of time producing a ton of grass for half of it just to rot. So I'm going to have to watch out for that. But here we go, we've got a nice big bale of grass, of hay here. It's 4,000. Let's just quickly check. Yeah, I'm picking this is going to be way too much, but hopefully it will just sit nicely in their food trough, and it will just slowly feed them. Let's check it out. Oh, there we go, look at that. And actually, it filled it right up. You beauty. Okay, so that is sheep taken care of. I'll be back in a minute. I'll meet you down at the cow farm. Okay, everybody, here we are down at the cow farm, and let's just start up our tractor. I'm definitely going to have to remember to turn off my tractor. I remember to turn that other one off, so that's good. And this is going to be the same story. Let's just quickly check out. They definitely need water, straw, grass, silage and hay, and power food. Now the last 2 I'm not going to be able to do at the moment. I don't have any silage, but I can certainly get these sorted. So we're going to have to find some water. Now I think this is a milk trigger that is being put right here, but let's just... No, I don't really want to risk it. I think there might be another trigger here that could be... I think this could actually be a water trigger right here from memory when I did my scouting. Let's see. Oh, it is water. Oh, yes! Very happy about that. So yeah, we've got the 30 cows out there. And now during different seasons, they'll produce different amounts of milk, which is kind of cool, pretty realistic. And same with the sheep, and also their breeding seasons are a little bit different. Now I can't remember off the top of my head, I haven't got my notes, but cows will breed in one particular season, and you'll see faster productive rate. And same with sheep, they'll have a certain time where they're producing offspring a lot faster. I think sheep are actually spring from memory, which would make sense because that would be lambs. Okay, here we go. That's our cows. They're all running away. Okay, let's just back this puppy in here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this trailer here. It makes sense. We'll see how much water they actually take. See, 3 days. Usually that would say 6. Okay, so the cows now have enough water. Let's just check out the menu. They certainly do. So straw and hay, that's really our 2 options at this stage. We've just got to keep them fed with at least some sort of food. And that's really going to be the key. I'm going to have to sit down and just figure out the best way to manage that. But a big ton of silage is going to help. Now, what I understand, the sheep though, you're going to need to feed the sheep hay in the winter because grass will just disappear. That's what I understand. Oh, what am I doing here, Mace? Let's get rid of that front bit. So these are the things we're going to have to learn. For those of you who are experts in seasons, make sure you leave comments down below. Let us know how we're going. Any tips or tricks, let us know. We're keen to learn. But here we are. Okay, I think the first thing we'll do, guys, is let's grab one of these big round bales. It was very kind of Smith97 who designed this map to ensure we've got a nice supply of hay and straw. I'm certainly going to have to make sure that I get a good stockpile of that, because the last thing I want to do is make my cows starve. That is not going to be relevant to my interests. Pretty muddy farm, this. One thing I didn't do in my little tour, and check out my previous video, I took a bit of a tour around the farm. I didn't take everyone to the very top of the farm. Up over that hill there's this big steep track that goes up there, big muddy steep track that a tractor can hardly get up. And it's got some storage sheds and a few other things up the top, so we'll take a tour up there at some stage. Now it helps, guys, if you actually put it in the right place. So let's move over here. No, nice, come on, sort it out. So it's if you look at the temperature over there, we've got 4 degrees for a ground temperature, just 1 degree air temperature. Very chilly. There we go. Chilly old day here. It is early spring though, of course, just coming out of winter. So you're going to expect it to be a bit chilly. And there we go, we've got, okay, we're going to need some more hay there. Go and grab another hay bale. I wonder if there's a lot of straw in there. I wonder if straw goes in there or whether we put it into the troughs. The straw trigger isn't very evident at this point. Alright, here we go. Got to get one more of these bales. Boom, look at that. There we go, we'll knock those ones off. That was intentional because I want to pick them up next time. Yeah, right. The other thing that you'll notice in this game is you'll see a number of the trees change colour during the seasons, which is a nice little touch. But we've got a ton of fields that we're going to work up. Absolute ton. There we go. How we're looking now. Okay, silage and hay. Oh, look, it's close enough. Now we need to go and get straw. Let's just grab this. Now, looking at, I've got 6 fields that have been worked up at the moment. 3 of them have been ploughed, and the starting state is ploughed. The other 3, the starting state is actually harvested. When you go into the map though, let's quickly show you that now, in the middle of feeding the animals. If you go into the map though, and you check out the growth, you can see that the 3, which are these 3 down here around our main farming equipment storage place, where our silos are kept, they're saying they need ploughing, but the fields are in a ploughed state. So I think just to be safe, to ensure we get the maximum harvest, given it's going to take 12 in-game days to get a harvest, I think what we'll do is we'll actually go ahead and plough those also. So just to be safe, because we want to get maximum productivity. Alright, let's get this, now we've just got to figure out where the straw goes. I don't really know at this point, but given that only half, have the troughs completely filled up? No, they haven't. I'm just wondering whether this will work, given that straw's really for bedding, not for food. Okay, doesn't appear to be a trigger there. It helps if I learn to operate this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at that. That just automatically happened. I love it. Okay, come back and put the other one in a second. Okay, guys, got a bit excited there because if you check out the stats here, they've actually got plenty of straw. I don't need to I don't need to add any more straw. So that is done and dusted right there. Guys, what we'll do now is, I think we better get the plough going in some of these fields. So I'll catch you in a second. I'll go and grab the plough. Back with you very soon. Okay, everybody, here we are at the main farm. There goes our silos, equipment storage, wash bay. Go and check out the map tour to see what else is on offer here. Plenty on offer. If we just jump into this shed here, though, open the door, and in here we've got our Deutzfahr Agristar, we've got our Massey Ferguson 7700. I think what I'm probably going to do, actually, folks, is I'm going to sell that Deutzfahr, or maybe one of the other smaller tractors I might actually sell, and upgrade to another one of these, because if you check out, look at that, look at those lights on there, I love that, that's awesome. If you check out, you'll see soon the steepness of some of the backfields. It's going to be a real challenge with lightweight equipment to get those done. Okay, guys, I think what I should do here is throw a weight on the front. Usually I wouldn't with this particular tractor, but given, like I just said, some of these are a little bit, the weights were, hold on. There we go, that's how I do it, team. It helps if I back quickly. Anyway, guys, while I sort this out, I'll meet you back up at the top of the top fields, and we can get into doing some work. Catch you soon. Okay, everybody, we're just making our way up to the first field up here. Now, I can confirm that spring is great for pigs and sheep from an offspring point of view. And winter is actually when cows are at their height of producing offspring. Milk productivity goes down in the winter. So there's a few little things to consider there. But what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to sort this out so we actually get this thing going the right way. Oh, hold on. Alright, we got it sorted this time. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to wrap up the episode pretty soon. But the object really is, during spring, it's all about preparing the farm, getting it ready, seeding all the fields. Oh no, fields can be sown in summer, actually. If we just go and check out our little chart here. Most of the seeding happens here in spring. Luckily I checked this, I didn't know what I was talking about. Summer, we've got the growing stage really, and towards the end of summer you can start harvesting. Now, one thing to consider is the fact that we do need to fertilise these fields, and I've got it on 3 stages of fertilisation. So we're going to have to fertilise each field 3 times. Now, one thing we could do early spring is actually plant oilseed radish and then cultivate it into the soil, and that will actually count as a level of fertilisation. In fact, you can almost get 2 levels or even 3 levels of fertilisation out of oilseed radish. That's if you've got, say some manure you can spread for a start. Then you weed it. Weeding counts as a level of fertilisation, and then you cultivate it into the soil, and that would be your 3rd level. So we could almost do it exceptionally cheap. The only problem is we don't really have any manure, so that's probably not going to work. So let's get this party started. Let's lower this down, and we will probably get a worker going, which is something we haven't really been able to do a heck of a lot of on these farms. Actually, we are not going to get a worker going because I've just realised this headland is not quite straight. But anyway, guys, here it is. We are well underway with our career here in Seasons on Tautoro District. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun, a lot to think about. But we have got plenty of space, plenty of fields, a ton of things that we're going to be doing over the next few episodes. So I hope you do enjoy it. If you've got any feedback, make sure you throw some comments down there. And I want to say a huge thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button down there. Go ahead, go and do it. You know you want to. Look at this, there's mud in this field. Subscribe if you're new. Why not? Why don't you just do that? Just go ahead and subscribe. It costs nothing at all except a little bit of self-respect, and who isn't willing to give some of that away? And as always, everybody, I'll go away, I'll do some more work on this farm, and when we come back, we'll be into it. Hopefully I won't be sounding like I've got my head in a cave somewhere, and it will be all good. So anyway, until next time, everybody, take it easy.